Better than Lego. Better than Lego.
Matthew Johns is in position for a long-range shot. He's with it now, Matthew Johns. Here goes the kick from Johns.
Welcome to the Johns Family Podcast for this week. And Trish, it feels like just yesterday we're in the midst of COVID. And we had our first one. How long?
That was in 2020. This is our third season.
Fourth.
20, 21, 22. This is our fourth season.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
Now,
It doesn't
what season,
feel like-
Trish?
You stop that.
Fourth. I think it honestly feels like last year.
Maybe the year before. I don't know about last year.
No, it only feels like we've been doing it for a couple of years. But to think this is our fourth year.
Mm.
You know what it's like? It's like the first year we did it, being in year 7, and now it's year 10. Like when you're older,
Yeah.
time just flies.
Yeah.
We were talking about the other day, like to the boys on the show, like Fletch, Hindy and Gordy. We said this is our 10th year doing the show together. That is like literally we all met in third class or second class and we're finishing our HSC. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Is it amazing?
Not really.
Not
Not
so much.
really.
Is it amazing?
I actually thought you were going longer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which show? Because one was added.
No, one of the Matty Johns shows. We've been together as a team for 10 years.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
What could have been, though? You could have had 10 years at Sterlo.
Yeah, good. Yeah, it's right. I was on the Sterlo thing for a little stint there.
that's
Someone asked
right.
me the other day how long you've been sort of doing this stuff, and it was sort of what I was still playing. 1998, I started doing some stuff, so it's 25 years.
Wow.
Well, what do you want? An
To
award?
I don't know, maybe a Logie.
And to think this year's your 11th year at Fox, isn't it? You
Yes,
started
it
in 2012.
Of all
Did
the
he?
places I've
Yeah.
worked, it's the best place.
Well, are you serious?
You do
I'm
love
And
absolutely serious.
Because you've been
You've got a
around.
good crew, your crew.
Got a great crew.
But you've been around.
I'm not doing.
Cooper,
I mean,
you have to
I'm not
experience a
doing
number
a-
of things to know what's good and not
Yeah.
what's not.
I'm not doing it Jack White, and I don't put myself out to offers. I'm just happy.
I love
I'm
that.
happy where I am.
Can I ask you a question then? If Fox is your favourite, which has been your least favourite?
Don't cut bridges. Shush. Don't answer him.
No, that's fine. That's a fine question. Well, I remember once when I just after. Well, actually, it wasn't after I retired. It was when the job I hated most. Myself and Joey got a job on a construction site, and we lasted 2 hours. The guy just said, "Dig a hole," and it was like honestly like trying to dig cement. And I said, "Mate, how long we got to do this for?" And he said, "You just keep digging, and I'll tell you when you're done."
Is
And
this
I
as
said,
a promo or is it real job?
This is
No, it's a
this was real, and I said,
Side
"Mate,"
job when they
and
were
I
night.
thought I'd endear myself to everyone, and I said, "Guys, I'm going to go and get some smoko." And the boss was like, "What?" I said, "I'm going to get some smoko. Who wants some?" So they all put their orders in,
It's like 10 a.m.
and I never came back.
Did you take their money?
No comment.
Can we get started? We haven't even started.
If you were, as I introduce you, family, if you were kidnapped, choose one real life action hero or fictional one, whatever. Who would save you and why? Who could save you?
I'm going with John Wick because he's described as a human version of a German Shepherd. And any man...
What? I've never heard something so ridiculous
That's true.
in my
And any
life.
man that goes to such extremes to get vengeance on someone for killing their dog, he's my man.
I like that. But I looked at whenever you look at an opponent like a action hero, you size them up. You think, could I?
Well, he's not...
And I always look at him and John Wick, and I go, yeah, I fancy myself.
Yeah, sure. He
I,
way older than you.
I could get Keanu
Are you
Reeves.
basing this just off physical appearance?
Well, I'm watching. There's a few sort of flaws, I think, in his technique. What about you, Jack?
What? He's knife throwing, he's shooting.
Oh, all of the above. I'm probably yeah.
Well, why don't you say yours then? 'Cause
I've gone Wonder Woman.
wow.
Hey,
She's
guys,
foxy.
Trish, don't laugh.
Yeah, whatever.
Right, I'm just that's what I'm doing, mate. I'm doing one for the ladies.
Yeah. Do you know when I was a little
Girlfriends
girl,
are doing it for ourselves.
I literally used to jump off the lounge pretending to be Wonder Woman.
Did you really?
Yeah, in my scungies.
Really?
And I'd go and find my sister's bangles and pop them on my arms,
Wow.
trying to deflect.
Because I used to do that. I used to pretend I was Batman quite a bit.
Are you getting weird? Stop it. I also used to
You
pretend I was a
stop
nun.
it. Yeah.
A
It's
nun.
funny because that's amazing because I actually pretended I was the bishop of the Newcastle.
Leo,
Bishop Leo
no.
Clark. Shout out to Leo Clark if he's still around. Something tells me he isn't. Yeah. Yeah, I used to fantasise about being the bishop of the diocese up there in Hunter. Well, unbelievable. What else do you used to fantasise about?
That's
Trish?
about it. That
Okay, no worries. Jack Johns, what about you, mate?
Cobber, to come and save me, I've chosen Master Splinter, who is the rat martial arts expert, father of the Ninja Turtles. And obvious reasons, Master Splinter.
Yeah.
Because he's wise.
Lives in a sewer.
Yeah.
It was between him and Zed from Pulp Fiction.
Oh, mate.
Zed's dead, baby.
Yeah, you don't want to be caught by Zed, or for that matter, I was chatting today. We'll get to it in a second. Sorry, I'll have a chat to it today. We're having a chat about with a person I interviewed today about Shawshank Redemption, and straight away I said, "Oh, you don't get caught by the sisters. They were bad guys." Shout out to the sisters. They were really bad guys. What about you, Coops?
I actually had Chuck Norris, Sweet Chuck. What do you mean?
I like
Yeah,
it.
which
Okay.
character?
No, Chuck Norris. He himself is an action hero. He used to play himself in a lot of different stuff, and he became sort of a cult action hero for himself.
I think last time I saw him, he was plugging some sort of at-home exercise machine.
Yes, he was the abdominator.
Yeah, one of those ones. You know, something that, essentially 5 minutes a day and you
You
look
got a
amazing.
door, you got a gym.
It's amazing how easy they look. That when you look, it just preys on people at 3 a.m. in the morning
I
who
know.
can't sleep. Just do this once a week, and you can look like this.
Don't worry, I have bought some stuff 3 a.m. in the morning. Let me
Jack
tell you.
Johns, the Knights just keep winning, man. You can't stop winning.
Yeah, it's actually nice to win. Last year we didn't win much, but this week we've got a fair challenge ahead of us with the Rift coming to town. So it'll be great playing my old mate Zach Hosking there on Saturday night in Newcastle. It should. I think all 3 grades are playing too. So on the same night. So that'll be pretty good. Pretty good challenge for the whole club considering Penrith won pretty much won every comp in New South Wales Rugby League last year.
Yeah, wow.
They were great last week. I mean, this is why you play. These are the enjoyable games. Playing against the top teams gets you gets up on your toes. Yeah. And Cooper,
Don't worry about it, Jack. Mate. We loosened them up for you a little bit. So
Oh, I think they're prime.
yeah, I think they'll be a bit battered and bruised this week. So get into their legs early and get physical with them because I don't think they'll go the whole 80 minutes with you.
mate,
Could I ask Cooper also, this week they're playing the Storm at home. Were you there during the Battle of Brookie back in the day, Coop Dog?
I was there during the Battle of Brookie. I was security guards had to hold me off. I was trying to jump the fence. I was
mate,
trying to get into Glenn Stewart.
I was going to say you'll do the same this week, but you're trying to get off the playing field.
Let me off. The fans will be pushing me back on.
Will they?
No. The fans will probably be beating me up. No. Yeah, I was there. Darcy Lussick gave Ryan Hinchcliffe a little slap over the head and a little Hinch food. Put his little hands up and who can throw him, actually, Hinchy. And they went into a little bit of a fight.
Oh, there actually was a brawl.
Oh,
Yep,
it
and
was
then-
huge.
Did everyone
then
get involved?
Adam Blair and Glenn Stewart got sent off, and they on the run off they had the big fight.
Oh, I do.
And a lot of suspensions, people coming in from the sidelines. I think I saw Frank Panisi thrown.
Yeah, Frank.
Dirty Frank.
Frank was on there thinking he was Bruce Lee.
Sweet.
That actually became very. I was chatting to some of our old staff. Some of our staff were there during that game and played ex-Melbourne players, and they were talking about how important, how dramatic the end of season was, considering there were so many suspensions that when they went into the finals, it actually stuffed up the back end of the year for them because they had so many suspensions.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I remember because so many people ran on from the bench, they suspended basically the whole benches from both sides. I think
There was
even
like six blokes each team.
I think the 18th man may have even got suspended because he came on, as well.
Sorry.
So, thanks for laughing at his expense.
Bellyache was the coach then, I'm imagining.
Yep.
Yeah, he's been the
How
coach
do
the
you
last 20
think
years.
that chat in the dressing rooms would have gone afterwards? Would he have been just blood red?
I reckon he would have been blood red, but you know what? It was both sides. It was kind of both sides. Like they both were fired up. I think he would have been happy of the symbol that it showed that they were sticking up for each other.
Team.
It wasn't like just Manly ran on and Melbourne sort of. It was basically whole teams. Because you got to remember, those two teams were dominant for that sort of 2-3. Well, even that 5-year period,
they
they'd
had-
played each other in 2 grand finals in the
that's right,
5 years before that. So there was a lot of. They were both 2 very dominant teams at the time. So
Well, I think they were mainly Melbourne boys suspended because Manly went on to win the comp.
they did. They beat the Warriors in the grand final that year. Yeah, 2011. But yeah, like you're saying, Jack, it'll be very exciting this Friday night. This will come out the morning of.
It will.
How about this, Coop? If you were one of the players in the brawl, which one would you be?
Oh.
I probably
The one that was on the
Wolfman?
ground. The
What
one
was
on,
it?
the one
Which
that
is
was
the
on
one
the-
running in the other direction?
Okay, cockheads. Before you start putting shit on me, Cooper's nasty review. I know you guys haven't seen it, but I'm a good fighter.
Are you?
Well, maybe I'll show you this Friday night.
I don't want to see it.
Huh? What if I get my little hands on little Gary Grant and I
Yeah.
Oh,
there we
little
go.
Gary Grant.
Shout out to Harry Grant. Okay, let's
give him a couple jersey
start-
punches?
Mate,
Pick
all
him
you'll be
up and
doing there
throw
is
him
cuddling
down.
him.
Couple Jersey boys.
Well, that night, it might sound unpopular, but I must say, leaving the ground, the buzz at the ground.
Oh, were you there?
It was exhilaration. People were just going, they were going nuts.
Oh yeah.
They like blood in the water.
Well, it sparked a feud for the last 15 years. It'll spark the feud for the rest. As long as the NRL's around, there'll
Oh,
always
it started
be a
well
feud.
before that. It
Yeah,
started
but
well. I remember the 2000. Which grand final did Melbourne lose 40-2? And
2008.
there was some Manly supporters absolutely giving it to you, Coop Dog, when you were wearing your little Storm jersey there, grand final day.
His backpack.
Yeah. Well, I used to go for the Storm.
How
Yeah.
quickly things change.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing?
That is interesting.
Life's a long road. That's why they say don't burn bridges.
Yeah. Apart from that concreting company that you worked at, those poor blokes will never get their smoke.
Was it
Yeah.
plumbing?
Shout out to Flannery Constructions.
Was that what it was called?
Yeah, it was.
Really? And you've managed to remember that all this time?
Yeah, me and Joey have a little laughs about it sometimes about Flannery Constructions. You know the thing about it was the hide I had. And by the way, could we just pencil something down? I've got an idea for a new segment for this show that I'm going to talk
Sure.
about later. But
Do it at the end.
I said
So I've got a few others.
I actually had the hide to turn up at their headquarters about a week later, their offices, and ask the boss for my 2 hours pay.
No way.
Yeah.
Did he give it to you?
No, he just said get out of here.
Whoa, that's not nice. That's not good employee relations.
What about you, Trish? How's your week been?
Yeah, I've been good. Look, I've had a very busy week. Koopy and I did, and Kenna did a first aid course.
I heard just downstairs.
Boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom. We'd be very confident of us
Saving lives.
bringing you back with a little CPR.
Big tip for the listeners out there: if you're performing CPR, 2 songs to follow the rhythm to: "Staying Alive," or another one, "Bites the Dust." Dun, dun, dun.
Boom. 30 compressions, 2 breaths.
Yeah.
And you have
What
to
about-
go
we
hard, even if you break a rib. It's better
I've
than
heard
dying.
We Built This City by Starship works as well. We built this city, boom, boom.
No, too
We
slow.
built this city on rock and boom, boom.
No, Matt did
Yeah, I've
feel
heard
that-
the same thing about Karma Chameleon cover.
Yeah, same at
Yeah, but Matt didn't feel that he had to do the course. So,
Well, I was
yeah.
busy.
So, Kelly, no, you weren't busy. No, you weren't
Yeah, the
actually
horse
busy.
racing upstairs.
No.
Given the
So,
fact,
like,
given the
don't
fact,
have a heart
Dad'll
attack
probably
around
be
him.
Dad'll probably be the one that we're gonna have to resuscitate.
Oh, hang on a minute. That's not necessarily true.
What
I'm
bit?
I'm in peak condition now. Not drinking for
Well,
56.
it's
You're
also
Very grumpy, though.
57 days.
it also practiced choking and
Yeah.
poisoning.
Yeah.
So
if
if
you
you-
get a snake bite, Matt,
Yeah.
your world's
Well,
greatest fear.
That will not happen. I won't be going anywhere near. What did they say, by the way, about snake bites?
You wrap them. There's like a technique. So you wrap them in a bandage.
You wrap the site in a bandage
Yeah,
and then
it stops the poison from going to other parts
and
of the
then
body.
get more bandages and like say if it's on your mid leg, you wrap the site and mark it, and then from the toe right up to the top of the thigh, the entire limb, you
Jeez, that
then
takes a
bandage
lot.
over the top again.
It takes a long time. I saw
And you
something-
urinate as well, Cobb. You got to urinate
No.
on the wound.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. And so someone said, oh, don't you like bite it and get
Suck the poison
venom
out?
No,
Oh, that's a
no.
shame.
No. That's only if it's in one area. There's only one area you do that.
Oh,
Because if
really?
you can't bandage it around the groin,
Oh, right.
What?
how are you going to bandage a groin if you get bit in the groin?
Well, you bandage the groin.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
you
well, Trish, where's the groin?
Well, What about on
Yeah.
the testes?
You're not getting the
Oh,
joke, are you,
bandage
babe?
those.
Have you ever seen Grimsby?
Just cut those off.
In the movie Grimsby
Yeah.
with Sacha Baron Cohen. I think it's one of his best. I think it's honestly one of if you haven't seen it, Grimsby by Sacha Baron Cohen, outstanding. Him and his brother, they're sort of fighting off these people, and his brother gets bitten by a snake on the cags, and Sacha Baron Cohen has to suck the venom out, and it's so funny. It's so good.
I like the fact there was.
Do you think that was a choice?
I think to save his brother's life.
Yeah, I saw a picture today. There was an old photo of Ricky the Hitman Hatton, and he was standing in the ring after he won one of his fights, and alongside him is Liam Gallagher and Noel Gallagher. I swear to God, Liam looks like Grimsby.
Yeah.
It is. It's like he is like the takeoff, because that's what he based it off.
Yeah.
Didn't he? Liam Gallagher.
Oh,
Yeah.
did he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he based it off
Liam Gallagher,
because he didn't
yes.
like them. That's what you were saying. You told me that
Not
story.
like Liam.
He said apparently the Gallaghers insulted him at one of the awards nights one time. So then he decided, I'm going to make this character based off Liam Gallagher. And there's one point when he's sort of walking through this African village and cigarettes and alcohol comes on, and he's walking through as Liam Gallagher, but he's like taking the piss out of him. Like he's
I'm going to have to watch that.
It's very funny. It's good.
Got it. And Matt, we went to the Easter show.
Yeah, we did. I got good news. Whilst I can't revive you guys, if ever you want a sheep, Sean, I can do that.
Yes, he can.
I did.
Really?
Got there, yep.
He did. I was impressed.
Is it hard? Is it difficult?
Yes, it is, because it's a bit of a struggle. I don't know if you guys could do it. You've just got to be dominant with the sheep. Get it, and you've got to sort of hook it with your feet and shear it. I must say, my concern was hurting the sheep with the clippers.
Yeah, I was
But-
too. I was worried for the sheep.
Lachlan Croker's dad's a sheep shearer.
Is
Is
he?
he?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, story beater.
Thanks.
Uh-huh.
Thanks. Hang on.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Excuse me, everybody.
And then we went off and had a look at the dogs at the show.
Oh, I love the dogs.
Yeah.
The dogs, that is...
I think I've almost got him around my finger to get another dog.
I think you have. Hindy's dog. Oh, Hindy brought a new dog into work, honestly.
Poor Bonnie, I feel sorry for her. It's like she's got 5 children, because at the show he showed us a picture of it that he'd seen it that morning, this British bulldog,
Oh,
and it's
beautiful.
multicoloured. It's really
Beautiful
beautiful with
dog.
the most stunning eyes. And I said, did you get a new dog? And he went, no, Bonnie won't let me get it. Like, we've already got 2 at home.
Yep.
I went, oh. And then that night at the show, Matt shows me a photo of him cuddling it.
Yeah.
And he said,
he brought it into work. He said,
Hindy
"Have a
got
look
the
at-"
dog.
He got the dog. It's a
Cute,
it's
eh?
a it's
It's
a
very
it's a
cute.
beautiful dog.
It is cute.
what have
Tricia,
they called it? Because they do have good names, peanut butter and...
I don't know. Oriole's one. I don't know. I don't know
Oreo?
where it's gone.
Yeah,
Oreo.
right.
Yes.
We'll have to bring it back.
Was up today. I'm a little bit tired at the moment. Ventured up to the Gold Coast today and back. Interviewed for the Good Chat series. Mick Fanning.
Oh, yeah.
Mick Fanning up there in Currumbin. He's neck of the woods.
Is he from
What-
Currumbin?
He lives there now.
Coolangatta. He's a Tweed Heads boy.
Okay.
Originally born in Penrith. He's a Penrith boy.
Wow. Does he go for Penrith?
Yes, he does. He's a Penrith fan. Mate, such a great guy. I mean, giving nothing away here. I'll say this, he's dealt with a lot of adversity. Like, it's been well documented. He spoke about how he lost 2 brothers, Sean and Peter. And it's funny, I said to him, do your brothers, do they come and visit you? He said, absolutely. He goes, I know. He said, if I'm just suddenly feel jubilation out of nowhere, he said, I know it's Sean who's come and seen me. And he said, and vice versa. He said, Peter, if suddenly I just get a rare type of calmness, he said, that's Peter coming to see me.
That's his nature.
But just what a super guy. And talking about, I apologise, I said, look, I know you've spoken about this, Miles, but can we talk about the shark?
Was he
And-
bored and brainless about it?
No, he was. He was interesting what he said he'd been through, and again, the chat goes for an hour, so I'm only giving you a bit of a preview here. I asked him, I said, I know this is going to sound like a really stupid question, and I said, but you see sometimes great fighters and their arch nemesis end up forming this bond. I said, in a strange way, do you feel a bond with the shark? And he said it's really fun. He said after it happened, he said I went away, and he said did a lot of stuff on learning about sharks. He said I swam with all different types of sharks. I wanted to know just absolutely everything about them.
Yeah, wow. Because it was a great white.
Yeah,
He-
it was a great white.
Yeah, and he said it was his way of dealing with the PTSD.
Yeah.
And he actually explained. He said, for instance, if people get terrified of hammerhead sharks, he said, I swam with the hammerhead shark and got to realise. He said, hammerhead sharks, he said, they're like Labradors. You can pat them and everything like that. And I said, Mick, I'll take your word for it.
You've swum with sharks. Grey nurse.
Yeah, but they're in like a tank.
Yeah, in a tank. Yeah,
Not out in the ocean.
Yeah, they were fed plenty before I went in there. As
Yeah, I
well.
still wouldn't trust them.
No, there wasn't total trust there. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back with Cooper's Nasty Review. Okay, welcome back to the podcast. Cooper, your Nasty Review has become a fan favourite.
It has become a fan favourite. Last week we actually put Sweet Jared Scott's name on the map.
By the way, Coop, before you start your nasty review,
Go.
As I was pulling into the stadium on the weekend, you know when you rock up to a stadium, there's blokes that are assigned to tell you where to park in the car parks. So I've pulled up next to this bloke, shown him my tag, and said, I go anywhere, mate, and he goes, yeah, mate, just up here, and tell your brother D.Y. Woolies wouldn't have him anyway.
Ah.
Who was that?
I think his name was Gavin.
Really? Okay.
There you go.
You know what? I found ever since starting this segment, people are just messaging me abuse for the sake of trying to get on the podcast.
Nasty out there. Yeah, that's it.
Everyone wants
everyone wants a piece. Anyway, thanks for sharing that, Jack. Your segment. But Jared
Shout
Scott,
out to Gav.
we put him on the podcast last week. Gave him a little shout out, and his message about sending me the wrong message than Jack. He's then decided. Obviously, he's made quite a name for himself. We've made him quite well known. And he's decided to return fire again. He said, hey, hot
Double
shot.
down.
Yeah, he did. This came actually yesterday. He said, hey, hot shot. Sorry about last week's mix-up. I'm flying to Sydney to watch Manly this week, and I'm stoked to see you on the team sheet. And I thought, that's nice. And then I scrolled down, and he said, a little bit surprising considering last week you looked more out of place than Uncle Joey at an AA meeting. So he's obviously grown in confidence, Jared, now, and he's starting to throw a little bit more at me. I didn't reply to that because, Jared, one thing about me is I'm happy to take the piss out of myself, but as soon as you start bringing my family into it, my uncle, my sweet Uncle Joey, that's where I draw the line.
Oh, I'm with you, Coop.
So never, you're one message off getting blocked.
There's a solitary tear rolling down my cheek. And can I just say, Jared, Joey would not be out of place at an AA meeting.
That's true.
So there you go. Bully on you. Now, Cooper, Jack Johns, it's time for your 10 to 1, man. What you got it this week?
Well, funny on that theme, talking about AA, because this week I went with rock stars that surprisingly haven't died of drugs.
Oh, okay. This is surprisingly. Okay.
Okay, so number 10 is Courtney Love. She's had her problems with heroin addiction over the years.
She a rock star?
It's a bit of a sour.
What was the bad
Technically,
name?
her band was Hole.
Hole. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking of Courtney Cox. My bad. I was thinking of Friends.
Yeah, pretty different.
She was dragged out of the Dancing in the Dark.
Yeah,
Courtney Cox.
that's what I...
Yeah, but that was a setup.
Well, you think it's a setup. I disagree. Sorry, Jack, continue.
Yeah, I'll just continue. Thanks, mate. Number 9, I've gone with Eric Clapton, who had a $16,000 heroin habit throughout the 70s.
16,000. How long was he spending that? A week, a month, a year?
I think
Mate.
that'd be...
Let me just check. Joey, how much? Whoa. No, Joey says a day.
All right, well, number 8, I've gone with Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys. I've got a quote here from Brian who said, ooh, the cocaine was a beautiful high.
Okay.
Okay, that's it. Okay. Okay, I thought you just cut the quote off there.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue, Jack.
Number 7 was Axl Rose, who used to pour his heroin into his coffee.
Oh, you can drink it, can you?
Number 6, I went with Steven Tyler, who had multiple stints in rehab. And then number 5, I went with Slash, who has been well documented, has gone to therapy many times and actually had to have a pacemaker put in to manage his heart rate due to excessive highs and lows.
Yeah, some of the things on the tour, he'd pass out. They go to a new city, and they just lay him down in the what do you call down the
ER?
No, in the hotel foyer. And he said, and just leave him to the staff and say, like, he's bombed out. You've got to get him up in the room. They said one point, the manager of the hotel, they picked him up, put him over the shoulder, and while he was over the shoulder of the manager of the hotel, pissed himself. Went all the way down the manager's jacket.
Number 4 is Nicky Six from Motley Crue.
Yep.
He had a lot of heroin overdoses. He was actually declared dead in hospital one time, but was revived, and then got put... 6 hours later, was put back in for ODing again.
Oh, my God.
6 hours later.
Wow.
Number 3 is Iggy Pop. For obvious reasons, Iggy Pop was the wild man, and it was documented it was documented that his bandmates and him would sometimes share needles through the 60s, which I can imagine probably isn't a great habit. Number 2 is Ozzy Osbourne.
Amazing.
Yeah, it survived many overdoses and obviously avoided rabies from that bat he chunked into.
Yeah.
And then number 1, who else but Keith Richards?
Yeah, I was waiting for my man.
He used heroin for... I don't know how he's still kicking so well. Heroin for decades, quit cocaine after falling out of a tree, and of course snorted his father's ashes.
Yes.
Well, remember when we saw the Rolling Stones in at Sydney and he was smoking a joint on stage?
Yeah, it was.
One of my friends went to Snoop Dogg the other day, and he said the whole stadium just smelt of weed.
Ew.
And then he said someone next to him was pulled out a joint and started smoking it, and security guard came over and said, "Hey, rather than kick him out, he just said, 'Hey, put that out.'" And then he reckons the bloke went, "Sorry," had a massive smoke of it, and then just threw it. And just threw it.
Oops.
I suppose you're expecting that if you go to a Snoop
Well, you're
Dogg
not supposed to smoke in the stadium. That's the issue.
Well,
It's
especially
probably,
not an
even
illegal
if you did
drug.
it a cigarette.
Just on that, Lindsay Buckingham from Fleetwood Mac, we interviewed him once, and because I heard all the stories, I said, "Lindsay, how much cocaine have you snorted back in the day?" It's on the Chuggy podcast as well, the Good Chat. Lindsay Buckingham come back and said, "Well, if you lay out a line of cocaine, okay, my line, the stuff I've done over the years could go to Jupiter, around the rings of Jupiter
God.
2 or 3 times, and then straight back to Earth." That's what
I
he
don't
said.
think he knows just how far it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he has no concept of
As
length.
far as Jupiter? Oh, sorry, I don't think Jupiter has the rings. It might have been Saturn.
Yeah,
There
Saturn.
you go. Yeah, sorry, I've got my planets all wrong. Sorry
Now,
to the kids
can
out
I
there
just
listening.
Yeah.
intervene for one moment?
Go
I
on.
forgot last week to announce our winner of my little impromptu competition. Now, of course, it was the Bee Gees. I was dropping songs. I can't believe no one picked it up. Like, there were 6 or 7 songs: Heartbreaker, Tragedy, Jive Talking, Words, Massachusetts. I mean, Cooper even picked me up
Slow down, Trish. Slow down.
yeah, mispronouncing Massachusetts. I started a joke. Matt actually continued singing it. So Max Sherwood was the winner. He's actually going to your show this week.
Oh, is he, Max?
Well done.
And I think he's from the Central Coast.
I feel like if Dad picks up and starts singing the song, I feel like that's a loss anyway. Don't you think? I feel like the whole point of it is to try to get away with it without them.
Yeah, but he didn't detect any of the others or the
but
connection of
I
it.
feel like him singing along to the song
Well-
is almost getting it.
No, I said,
Well,
I started a joke and he went,
Well, the joke's on you guys. Because guess what? I've been doing this whole podcast, doing Starship songs. We built this city.
one.
Yep. Friends for Life.
Shush, just shush.
Gangster themes. No, I don't know. I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here.
Oh,
Kerry and Kenley, there was a bit of a drama.
she's Gonski.
And I know there was a lot of stuff going on, but the girl from MAFS, sometimes I just want to say, just a little bit of respect for your elders.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know
Kerry
what?
Ann has been in the industry for over 50 years, and if she wants to wear a little bit of makeup, and she's...
I mean, she's old.
She-
older.
older, but she's...
What, 70? Maybe more?
She's done her time enough
Yeah.
that I just think there needed to be just a little bit of respect.
It was pretty bitchy, really.
Yeah.
And
Well, you
nasty.
can say that. I can't say it. It's that sort of
It was
world.
bitchy,
If I'd
though.
say it, they say it's misogyny.
I
But it was
turned
just
around
nasty.
and she was saying something like, "Oh, I look over there and I see her cosmetics and her makeup. Like, it really makes me upset." I go, "Oh, are you serious?"
Yeah, no.
I find it weird how
Remember,
how
Bo Ryan
into,
quit because he didn't get a biscuit or something. Else.
I find it weird how you guys get so into reality television.
I don't watch it. I've just been watching snippets of it.
Yeah. She
Sure.
doesn't watch it.
Do you know who I really like on it though? Is my
Liz
two
El-
favourites.
yeah.
Yeah, Liz Ellis. She's come across really
She's
well.
awesome.
Really great personality. And Aisha Scott, who's the chick from Below Deck. She's a Kiwi girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I liked her on that. She's probably one of the only staff members that I did like.
And
she's-
Dicko's good.
Yeah. Dicko's good.
Dicko's good. He's He's an entertainer.
Yeah, he's into it.
Trishy,
Yes.
why don't you? What do you make of this? Let's move on to that.
Okay. Now, I'm going to. What I heard this week was Brad Pitt just keeps growing.
Cuter.
Well, yeah, it does make him a little bit cuter. It's just come out. He just sold his LA mansion for a lot of money, like
How much?
45 million or something. Because how about this? They've got a new tax that was introduced on the 1st of April.
Oh yeah.
A new luxury mansion tax. So a whole lot of the celebs have sold their properties prior to that.
Oh, yeah.
But what's come out, one of the other neighbours made it known that about 8 years ago or so, one of his old neighbours lost his wife.
Oh god.
And so he invited him to come and live on his estate free. The guy was in his 90s.
Wow.
Yeah, but then the guy lived till 105.
Oh,
So he's only just recently passed. Yeah.
Oh
but he
god.
lived there
nice
for
is that?
15 years before.
Or not 15, maybe like 8 years or something.
That's
Did, so he sold the house when his wife died?
The other fella, I
Yeah.
don't know what he did.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I was half thinking in my head because what Brad had actually done, he had bought properties around him. Yeah, Brad and I. So what he might have done is made him a bit of a deal, like, I'll give you the cash, I'll buy your property, and you can live for free on.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, maybe that. I was thinking, well, hang on, if he's a neighbour of yours and he's got that property, it's obviously worthwhile. But maybe he was lonely.
And
or
if I
something.
get bit by a snake, you got to suck the poison out.
Oh.
Got me again on the wiener.
Can't
He's,
bear it.
he's
on.
in his 90s, Matt.
Take your teeth out.
Oh, stop it! You're bad. Yeah, but he's moving to Carmel. That's where Clint Eastwood used to be the mayor. We've been up there. It's beautiful.
Carmel by the sea. I went into a bar
Top
in
of Big
Carmel,
Sur.
walked in there, and there was an Australian rugby league jersey
Get behind you.
on the wall.
What
And I
team?
went up and had a look. It was an Australian rugby league, like a Kangaroos jersey.
Yeah.
Righto, that team. I know. Look, it's called an Australian. Look, if you have a look over in the corner, there's one of my 12 just there. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, nice.
You know the other thing I would like to mention, if it's okay.
Nothing.
We heard some good ambulance stories the other day, didn't we, Coops?
Yeah.
From our friends, the paramedics, as to some of the weirdest reasons that ambulances get called out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, rolling
A
pins.
really big one is people are constipated.
Yeah.
Do you not find that weird?
No.
No, because I feel like that
Jesus.
feeling, you wouldn't know if it's constipation or it'd be your stomach.
Mick Fanning told today the story. He was in Portugal, didn't like the food. He was just on tour as a young guy.
Yeah.
So all he was eating was bread and eggs.
Uh-oh.
And all of a sudden he had this excruciating pain, literally screaming, rang his mum and said, I'm in terrible. She goes, hurry, go to the hospital. Walked into hospital. He was in bed next to a guy who was seriously ill, this old guy, like who'd had a heart attack. And the doctor came in and said, look, we've done the prognosis. You're constipated.
Oh, no.
Look, mate, just go and do a big shit. You'll feel a lot better.
Yeah, no, but it's hard to do one if it can't come out and it can get stuck.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why it's
Jax,
pretty
remember
normal.
that? Remember Jax? We used to
When he was a baby.
When he was a baby, he used to do a shit and he used to get stuck in his ass, and we used to laugh and invite the neighbours in, and look at that.
I did not.
Yeah.
You're a monster, Matthew. Another one is headaches. Another one is they can't sleep, so they call an ambulance. And sore toe.
Really?
Remember our old doctor at the Newcastle
weird.
Knights? He used to have stories about when he worked in the emergency ward in Sydney. People that come in and people would go, really? And he'd go, how did you end up
You
with
accidentally
that
fell on a
rolling
bottle.
pin in your backside?
Yeah.
The guy went, oh, I just fell over.
I fell over,
I
opened
just
my
fell
arsehole.
over, and yes.
Yeah.
Okay, now,
I think we're on hot or not. Big
yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's time for hot or not.
When are we going to get Predicament of the Week back? I love that. Was my favourite.
Trish,
Yeah.
Hook and Tease is coming next week. Okay, hot or not?
Hot or not?
Guys, and this one is probably applicable to Cooper because he's in that point of his life and relationships, although, Jack's a bit of a silent achiever. Holding hands in public. Is it hot or not?
I think it's really hot.
I'm not one for it. I don't like it. I don't like public display of affection.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't
I don't like a pash in public.
I love that. I love it watching people get the Robert Young out and have a bit of a go. What are you, Jack? What do you think about holding hands in public? And have you done it?
Holding hands is okay, but sucking tongue is a whole other
It's
thing.
not good.
Okay, we have this one. Hot or not? Braces on adults. Because it become a bit of a thing there for a while.
Do you know what? I'm neutral because, like, if you need it, you need it.
Oh.
We know a friend who had braces as an adult and had to have his jaw broken because he had was it an underbite or an overbite?
Yeah, okay, but some...
Do you know what I mean?
Some
You do it for a reason.
Some people do it for fashion.
No one's doing it for
I'm
fashion.
telling you now, some people do it for fashion. Is
They
that
are
right?
not.
Gav's nodding.
No one is doing it for fashion.
Gav's got
It's
big.
painful.
He's got a big brace face at the moment. He's got them all in there.
Gav looks like Gator today.
Yeah. It is it's
I don't think anyone ever got them for fashion.
Yeah, and the thing
I
is,
disagree.
some adults probably needed them as children, and their parents weren't able to afford them or whatever. So as adults, they've gone ahead and done
Do you
it.
know there was a number of Olympic sprinters that end up having braces in their 30s?
Yes.
Make of that what you will. Okay, suit and tie.
What country was that, Annette?
It rhymes with USA.
Okay.
Suit and tie. Jack Johns, suit and tie. Hot or not?
Depends where, really.
Yeah, I think it's hot. I think it's hot, Cobber. I think movies such as The Gentleman influence people to want to wear suits more often. But in Australia during the summer, last thing I want to wear is a suit. I had to wear one to the game on the weekend, but we don't have a tie, but we have to wear a suit, and I find it absolute torture.
Oh, I think it's very hot.
My goal is never to wear a tie ever again. I've been asked to go on Super Saturday with commentary sometimes, and my thing to them, I'll say, look, I'll do it, but on one condition, I don't have to wear a tie.
Yeah.
And so, and I say, by the way, I've got a pinched nerve in my neck. I always make that one up so I don't have to wear it. I hate ties.
Yeah.
Obviously.
You have a thick neck.
No, obviously something in your past life has
It
occurred.
stands for power and intimidation. Do you know that?
What?
The tie, the origins of the tie.
Yeah, sure.
There was these Croatian mercenaries and that they would go and fight in these wars, and they wore a cravat or a tie of sorts that they would wear to say that they're ready for war. And it was done. So that's why it becomes popular. People wear them in the boardroom for a form of intimidation. They're ready for battle. That's the origins.
Well,
Make of that what you will. Okay, the COVID fist pump. Righto? Because I'm getting people coming up to me, giving me the pump, and I grab their hands, I peel their fingers apart and make them shake. I say, guys,
No.
we're past that.
No, I'm with them. I'm going pre-COVID tactics because I got really sick the other week, and I just don't want people's germs.
what'd you
so
get?
don't hug me, don't kiss me.
Trish, every time she has a cough, she goes, I know I've got COVID.
No, I
I've
don't.
got it. And you never do.
I don't.
Never do.
yeah, she's one of... What's that word? When they
Hypochondriac.
She's a hypochondriac.
Yeah, you are.
You are a
You are a
hypochondriac.
hypochondriac.
Do you deny that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm a self-diagnoser. Is
That's
that a
a
hypochondriac?
hypochondriac.
Maybe.
I rest my case. Hot or not? Not. We'll take a quick break and be back with Cooper's Quiz. Welcome back to the podcast. Cooper, I tell you, your segments are getting a lot of feedback. They're loving the quiz and they're loving the nasty review.
Thanks.
Go for it.
Well, this week we're going away from the draft. I've got something completely new. I went and watched Super Mario Brothers. It's in cinemas now.
How old are you? 5?
I'm 23, mate. And I tell you what, though, it was actually very good. Jack Black plays Bowser.
Jack Plack. Is that what you call him? Or Jack Platt.
Jack Black. Sorry, School of Rock, man. Chris Pratt is Mario. It's very entertaining. Even
Is it?
for adults, great soundtrack.
I need to go and see a movie.
Yeah, it is good. So what I decided to do was I've picked 6 animated characters that you might not know who did the voiceover for, and you have to guess who did the voiceover for.
I love it.
Oh, get ready. Jack, I'm going to start with you because you have said nothing this whole podcast. The first character you have, and you each have one lifeline which gets you a hint, but you each have 2 characters you have to do.
Okay.
If you blow it on the first one, you will not get the lifeline on the second one.
Oh, this is
Okay.
exciting.
But if you get it on the first one using a lifeline, do you get to use the lifeline in the second one?
Great question. I didn't prepare for someone to ask that. I'll make it up on the spot as I do.
So they're Mario characters, right?
No. These are different. These are just any animated characters, movie or TV.
We're going good.
Go.
Jack hasn't been listening. Okay, Jack, you go first. From Shrek, the character Donkey.
Eddie Murphy.
Yes.
Yeah, well done.
That's a good
You
one.
didn't Google that, did you?
No.
Okay, well done. Very well done. Trish, I'll go to you. In Shrek again, the
Okay.
character Fiona.
That's Cameron Diaz.
Well,
Is it Cameron Diaz?
Yes.
well done.
We were very big on Shrek in our family. That and Toy Story.
Well, while we're on the Shrek thing, let's go to Dad. Shrek.
Oh.
Who played
Ooh.
Trish?
It was Mike Myers.
Wow, that surprises me you knew that.
What about the
I
cat?
love Mike Myers.
Do you want to know who the cat was?
No,
No.
just hold on.
Is this Jesus Christ?
Jesus Christ. Just honestly, do you want me to put you back on your lead?
All right, Jack, we're shifting over to Monsters, Inc. for you. Randall, who is that purple lizard. Do you know who played him? And you still have your lifeline.
Yeah, I'll need the lifeline from that
Okay.
weird chameleon thing.
So the actor who played this, he's had many appearances in a lot of Adam Sandler movies.
Oh. I can
It's
see
not
his
Rob
face.
Schneider, is it?
Boom, boom. It's actually Steve Buscemi.
Oh, I love
Oh,
Steve
really?
Buscemi.
Oh,
Yes.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Sweet Steve.
I don't know who
Trish, show that to you. Finding Nemo. Ooh.
Yeah.
You get the character Dory. And you still have your lifeline.
I would like a lifeline. I only know one person from Nemo, as in the
Hosts a popular daytime TV
Ellen
show.
DeGeneres.
Ellen
Yeah,
is
that was
generous.
who I thought. That's the only one I knew.
She's a mean person.
And
Oh,
Dad,
you don't know.
That's what I hear. I read it.
Dad, this one's for you. I hope you know this. This is from Family Guy. The character Meg, Peter's daughter.
Meg.
Well, he won't know this. will he?
Give me a lifeline.
Popular actor off. She started on That 70s Show.
Oh, Miley Cyrus.
No.
That's a good guess, Cobber.
Kunis?
Mila Kunis.
Oh, look,
Oh,
oh,
same person.
No, I just not
Big,
the same.
big eyes and gorgeous hair.
I got one for you, Cobber. One more for Matthew to try and save himself.
Yeah.
Who plays Chris in Family Guy? And the hint is Scotty No.
What was the hint again? Sorry.
Scotty No.
You know, yeah, nice kid.
In Austin Powers, you go Scotty No.
Oh,
Scott or Scotty?
Oh, it is. It's Mike Myers.
You know what? You did leave him kind of stranded there because Dr. Evil says Scotty No.
Oh, he does. Oh, so it was Scott. It was Scott Evil, is it?
What? No,
Seth
that's the
Green.
voice.
Seth Green.
Oh,
Yeah,
Seth,
Seth
Green. That's
have
right.
you
Who
left us?
plays Scott Evil? Oh God,
Okay.
Trish, your feedback
this
helped
is,
me.
Okay,
God
Tracy
damn
says,
it.
aren't we all your masturbation jokes, boys? Even if we had dicks, we would not be playing with them all the time.
Oh,
Who said, who
sounds
said
like
that?
someone. It sounds like someone without a dick.
Yeah, it's Tracy.
Oh, Tracy, seriously, mate, you don't know what you're missing out on.
She has no idea. How can she even comment on that? Because she has no idea what it feels like.
Well, you know what? We'd be too busy doing productive things. Not sitting
Such
around
as?
playing. Well, I don't know. Anyway, now I just want to announce we've got a couple more challenges coming up. Now, one is going to be us
Sorry.
doing impersonations.
Sorry, just
so
thought
we'd
of
love our listeners to send in some movie scenes or actors that you would like us to impersonate.
What are you laughing
I'm
at?
just
Why are
thinking
you
about
laughing?
going upstairs and seeing Trish do the dishes while playing with her dick. That's sorry. That was. Hey,
Well,
mi-
can
hey,
you
Trish,
do the two things at
Trish,
once?
you missed a bit.
Oh my god!
I thought those days were behind her.
Yeah, me playing with my
Literally.
dick. Yeah. Did you just laugh because I said dick?
No,
You did. You're like a 5-year-old.
I'm laughing what Jack said. Well done, Jack.
And our other challenge, and I'm announcing this now, and you can select who wants to go next week. We're going to write some of our own country lyrics to a country song.
Okay.
Now, they have such good lyrics. I've got a few for us as examples. All of them have to do with drinking whiskey, just drinking in general, and someone doing you wrong. But I've got a couple of favourite lyrics I've been listening to. Morgan Wallen has some really good ones. In his Whiskey Glasses song, I like his little play on words, pour me another drink.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
P-O.
pour me another drink. Cooper. And the other one I particularly like, his song where it's called Man Made a Bar. It's his take on the story of Adam and Eve and creation. Why are you looking at me like that?
I'd
Stop
love to
it.
hear this.
Okay,
Some Morgan
so one
Wallen
of-
doing the
You know,
One of
Bible.
because Jack just texted me saying boring.
So God made a girl, his best work of art. Oh, but he didn't make no place to go when she breaks your heart. So man made a bar.
Yeah.
You like
well,
it?
how about this one, Trish? How about this for a lyric? On the 7th day, God rested, and on the 8th day, Chuck Norris took over.
But you know what? The old country
That had
songs
nothing to do
had a
with that.
whole lot of really good ones.
Sorry,
Um,
cover.
No, it's all right.
There's one called "How Come Your Dog Don't Bite Nobody But Me."
Okay.
They often mention their dogs too. I noticed.
That was a perfect example of one of Jack's failed zingers.
Double down on.
Okay, Loretta Lynn and Conway Twitty back in 1978 sang a song called "You're the Reason Our Kids Are Ugly."
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Miranda Lambert and Maren Morris sang a song called "Way Too Pretty for Prison."
Right. Okay.
That was.
So who wants to go first in rewriting on?
Okay.
I
Now-
reckon you go first. Come
Yeah,
on.
you
I
go
always
first
go
next
first,
week
though.
because I've got another challenge that we're going to do.
Okay, well, I'll go next week.
Righto, you're next week. Now we've got a new thing. Trish, write it down. It's called Matt's Ruthless Challenge. Now, what we're going to set a challenge, not just physical challenge. Sometimes it's got to be really uncomfortable, and I'm going to put my hand up to do the first one.
Okay.
Okay.
Snake.
And you've got to do some evidence that you have attempted or succeeded in doing this challenge. My challenge. And I was listening to a podcast the other day with Jay Leno, and he sort of referenced something similar and it gave me this idea. My challenge this week, people, is to go to an open house. Now, the open house, let's say, for instance, goes from 12 to 1
No, it's half an hour usually.
or half an hour, and I'm going to refuse to leave. Basically, my goal is to stay in the house half an hour after the designated time.
Half an
we're
hour?
finished. Yep. So
They've got another
if the-
open house
if
to go
the
to, mate.
if the open house goes from say 12 to 1, then my goal is I have to still be in the house at 1:30. So the person will go, okay, they're starting to wind up, and I'll just keep going. Can I just go and have a look at the spare bedroom one more time and just see how long I
Get your
can
tape measure out,
how
start
long-
measuring.
So the goal, Trish, we're going to go to an open house this
Oh,
weekend
hang on. Why do I have to go?
because you've got to film
You
it.
got to film it, baby.
You've got to film it. And I'm going to get there discreetly, and they'll be saying to it, and I'm just going to do every trick in the book.
Are you going to turn up at like 5 minutes to
I'm
the
going
end?
to turn up about 10 minutes before, give the impression that I'm really keen on the house, and then just refuse to leave and see if they'll just hang in
This
there.
is the thing with Dad. If he goes in there, they might actually just let him stay.
Yeah.
I would like
Big
to.
chance.
I'd like to extend a bonus point to you if you can either have a shower or get on the toilet while you're in there.
I've done that.
I'm
I've
not-
done that before.
I'm not going
How
there.
about, how about one up? What
I'm
about one
cringing
more?
already.
What about like going to the spare room or going to like the owner's bed and
We're going to very weird territory.
Yeah.
We have to go.
No,
I've got to go.
Wait a sec. So
I've gotta
that's-
go.
So people, that's what the challenge is. I'm going to identify a house with an open house. Go in there. I'll arrive about 10 minutes before. Trish will film this, and I will attempt to stay there 30 minutes after time. Okay, let's see how that goes. That's all we've got time for.
You kill me.
People, look after yourselves. Boys, look after yourselves in the football and the games this week. Good luck, and God bless everyone out there.
More than a Sunday morning, Lord, turn the sun, pour lost soul found. Hallelujah, bound.